Zach Cregger is finally back with another horror film. He's following up his hit movie Barbarian that came out a few years ago. That is with Weapons. Does this live up to the hype? Let's dive in. What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to the Movie Dive. Today we're diving into a new Zach Cregger film, and that would be Weapons, a horror psychological thriller. Before we dive in, please do not forget to subscribe to Movie Dive and check this little channel to 1,000 subscribers here in 2025. Ring that little bell button down below for notifications on the channel. So Weapons is one of those movies. I saw the first 5 seconds of the teaser trailer. I said no more. I just want to see what this movie has entail without knowing anything else. I saw Barbarian. I was a big fan of that movie. It wasn't something that was life-changing or anything, but it was just a really creative horror film. It kept taking turns that you just did not expect from a director you have never really heard of either. So when he gets his follow-up with Weapons, of course, this movie's going to have a bigger budget than Barbarian had. He proved in the first film that he could do it. Let's see if he can continue that success. And I will say absolutely Cregger can. He absolutely surprised me here with Weapons. With all the kids running in the streets, that was the only part I saw of the trailer. I thought it might be something that could stretch the point of being corny, but is absolutely not the case. From the beginning of Weapons, I was absolutely locked in until the credits rolled at the end of the film. It's weird to say because there's storylines in Weapons that feel like it's something that you have seen before, but at the same time, you're in a space that just feels different. It feels like you're watching some weird horror folklore, but in modern times. And yes, the strong suit of Weapons is the storytelling, and yes, the directing. There's also some tremendous acting in this movie as well. This is my favorite performance of Garner so far. I would say she is the lead of the film. The movie is structured in different chapters, with each chapter showing a different perspective of different characters. And honestly, when movies have done that in the past, it has kind of annoyed me, but it definitely works here in Weapons, as every story is kind of showing a different truth of what is going on in this town. Josh Brolin is also tremendous in this role. I heard he was actually supposed to be played by Pedro Pascal. Thank the Lord that it was Josh Brolin, because I think it fit him a lot better, and Pascal's been in everything this year so far. Austin Abrams from Euphoria was in this movie. I didn't even recognize him until I saw the credits. He did a really good job as well and had a pretty interesting chapter in this film. And all these characters it shows, for some reason when I was watching it, I didn't know anything about them, so I was expecting them to go a certain way when they went a complete opposite way, kind of how they did in Barbarian. It showed that these characters have been going through something, little subtle hints that these characters are just not perfect people and that they have been just dealing with something in their life. Of course, you'd be too if 17 kids went missing in your town. I don't want to mess her name up, but Amy Madigan, I know she's been in a bunch of stuff in the past. She had just such an absolutely creepy performance in this movie. There was something so uneasy about watching her on the screen, especially when she had some wig and makeup on. Just someone I hope in real life to never see. And I might actually see her in my dreams tonight, which should be worst case scenario. So 40% of this movie is straightforward horror, and 60% of it is psychological thriller. But when that horror hits, it absolutely does. There's just certain things that are happening. For example, a door opening that I'm just thinking to myself, that is not how a door is supposed to open. And now suddenly I feel really odd inside. Now, Weapons, yes, can be a movie where people are going to interpret it in different ways, and sometimes that can be annoying, but I do believe it works here. It does give you a straightforward answer at the end, which might disappoint some people because they're expecting something game-changing or some kind of crazy twist, but it is a pretty straightforward story. And when I left, I was thinking to myself, did that disappoint me at the end, or was I fine with that because I loved it so much? But as the time passes, no, I just absolutely love this movie. The journey was great. The ending might have been not a crazy twist or anything, but it was still just an amazing climax to the film. Usually when the movie is 2 hours, 8 minutes long, I feel like it always seems to be 20 minutes too long. That is not the case with Weapons. I didn't check my phone one time to see what time it was, or I guess I should say my watch, because I'm in a movie theater and no one checks their phone in the movie theater. I truly believe this is one of my favorites of the decade so far. It's something I'm going to recommend to a lot of people, and I'm going to be watching several times out in the future, and I bet the more I watch it, the more I'm even going to like it. Now, Weapons might not be for everyone because there's some over-the-top and grotesque stuff in this movie. There's even moments that are just so odd that you find yourself laughing, and I think the intent is definitely to laugh at those moments. So there's a humor that is layered around through this film that is just unexpected as well. But at the same time you're watching this humor, you feel awful. I don't want to get too deep into the weeds of Weapons. It's something you should go see for yourself and know as little about as possible. I'm absolutely excited to see what Zach Cregger does with the rest of his career. He's now one of those names of directors that I'm automatically going to go see what he does. I think I heard he's doing Resident Evil next. So I'm going to go ahead and give Weapons an 85 out of 100. What did you guys think of Weapons? Let me know in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe to the Movie Dive, and we will see you next time.